Hey, DeRionne, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much. And yourself?
Very good. Do you have a minute for Mentor Mondays?
That's a given.
Alrighty, let's start with an easy one. As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Ironically, I wanted to be the things that were probably the most closest to me in my life. I wanted to be a hairdresser. I wanted to be a missionary because I was very active in my church growing up. And at some point, I thought I'd also be a police officer.
How would you describe what it is that you do now?
I think I have my own pulpit now, very similar to the church that I grew up in. I get to talk to people about the value proposition of education, and if I do it really, really well, I make it accessible to people, and I hopefully lead an organization that shows up in the community in the most relevant way possible.
What are some of the most valuable lessons you've learned in business or in life?
I think authenticity is the thing that is most important to me. There are a lot of things in life that you will have the opportunity to do well, but if you come from a place that is deeply ingrained in who you are and you understand what baggage you bring with you and the strengths you bring with you, inevitably that makes you a stronger and better leader.
What are some key traits that a leader should have?
I think that a leader should be a better listener than they are a speaker. I think they have to be self-aware. They have to have a deep compassion about the work we do. And one of my best friends always tells me, practice kindness and clarity. Being clear about the vision you have, but leading people with grace and dignity. That's important.
What are you looking forward to in the future?
I'm looking forward to watching Nevada State change the way that we show up in the community. I'm looking forward to the way that higher education's narrative becomes different in this state. And probably most of all, I'm looking forward to figuring out just how DeRionne is going to show up in this next part of her life.
How do you stay motivated when faced with a challenge?
One of the best things ever happened to me is one day on the drive home, I called my father. This is many years ago, and I was very upset about something that happened, and I was crying and bawling, and I called my daddy to get this sense of comfort that one would expect. And at the end of the story, he tells me, baby, that's the best they got? And I expected him to give me this comfort and to kind of do the things that daddies do. And I realized at that point, he said, they don't know your story. They don't know where you've been. They don't know what you're capable of. Is that the best they got? So in moments of great challenge for me, you will often see me literally say it in a quiet voice to myself. That's the best you got?
What's the most important question to ask a mentor?
I think you want to ask them what is their most defining moment in their career that helped them realize what their purpose was. If they're able to describe that with a level of clarity, I think it will help you pick up the pieces that you should be asking yourself about how you show up in your own life.
What's the most defining moment in your career?
I think the moment that I walked off of a stage while I was an English professor, I'd just given a speech, and I had a mentor walk up to me and say, you're going to be a college president one day. Let's figure out how to do that. And I said to him, I said, Russ, all I want is tenure. He said, you'll get tenure. He said, but you're meant for a different stage. And I've never forgotten that moment because it helped me see my life is bigger than what I even thought possible.
Wow. Alrighty, DeRionne. Thank you for sharing some of your time and wisdom with us today.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.